Look, all I'm saying is that I remember when my home was invaded and my people were killed. Those men, they had friends, they had girlfriends, people that felt a loss that I couldn't heal. And I had to explain to them why their leader failed to protect them.
Here's a little refresher on who the hell I am. I wear a leather jacket, I have Lucille, and my nutsack is made of steel.
The Walking Dead needs no introduction. What I can tell you is that it is a show that is not only a zombie massacre show, but it is also a great character analysis show. The show essentially stars Rick Grimes and his crew surviving the zombies. Also with that, they must survive other humans as well. While on their journey, Rick meets other leaders, like himself, of other communes, like the governor, who comes off as understanding and charismatic, but is obviously crazy and holds on to false hope. However, I want to analyze a character like Negan, how he started in the series, and where he's at, and maybe to see why he isn't such a villain after all. For this video, I will be steering away from the comic book counterpart of Negan, as it is a little different. I am gonna assume you have seen The Walking Dead. If you haven't, it's a comic book that was adapted into a TV show. The show has had a lot of ups and downs with directors and companies, but that's a discussion for another day. The first big bad guy we meet is the governor. Now, this dude just portrays weirdness. He's calculated, dangerous, and overall scary. However, after the group takes care of him, they find another big baddie, Negan. Most of, if not all, the prior knowledge we have of Negan is from the comic book. Yeah, we got an episode, I'll talk about that later. So, I'll have to use a little bit of that information. Before the invasion, or breakout, or whatever you want to call it, Negan, or Negan Smith, lived in Virginia, and he was a gym coach, and had a wife who was named Lucille. We'll get into that later. He also had a mistress on the side. One night, Lucille collapses on the side of the bed. Negan, who rushes her to the hospital, finds out that she is dying from cancer. Negan immediately tells his mistress, who ends things. Negan stays with his wife until the first breakout of the pandemic. The doctors leave and tell Negan to leave as well, but he doesn't. He stays with his wife until the power outage cut her off life support and killed her. Soon after she dies, however, she turns into a zombie. Negan, escaping, finds a boy trapped by zombies himself. Negan rescues the kid and, in return, asks him to kill Lucille. Wow, that is depressing. Let's cut to where we first meet Negan. I'll be referring to names and groups, and I'll probably just stop to explain those. The first group I'll be talking about is the Saviors, which is Negan's group. About 50 of them blitzkrieg Rick and his crew. This was a good cast of characters. At the time, Negan tells them that he is doing everything that he's about to do for revenge for the Saviors, and that everything his group owns is half of his. Now I know what you all are saying. Josh, why wouldn't this automatically make him evil? Now, I understand that this seems really harsh, but let me remind you, this is the guy who, as a leader, kept his secret that he found out from the CDC, the place where they found out that no matter how you die, if it's not a shot to the head or decapitation, they're coming back as a zombie. He knew this for an entire season, which is like 20 days, and he killed all of his men in their sleep. Also, Rick had all able opportunity to kill Negan multiple times, we'll also talk about that later, and he didn't. Negan kills a character, and then a very, very important character. The group having to work for Negan is pissed off, and Carl, Rick's kid, who was like 14 at the time, tries to take Negan out after killing 2 of his men. Negan doesn't even kill Carl, he like literally gives him a tour of the place, and feeds him spaghetti.
I fed him spaghetti.
The Saviors, and Rick's crew, who have help from other groups, where they just keep trying to one-up each other, fighting and fighting, all to the point where Carl, the last able person of Rick's family except Judith, but she's just a baby at this point, dies. Rick, who receives a letter from Carl asking him and Negan to stop, but Rick has to literally butt in and be a jackass.
Carl's dead.
He asked you to
to stop. He asked me to stop. But it's too late for that.
Saying that he will kill Negan. This doesn't faze Negan though, he could really care less. He wants to know what happened to Carl. One attribute of Negan is that even though he is an evil guy, he'll never kill a kid, and actually tends to help them. Another good dialogue scene between Rick and Negan comes not long after this one, where Rick chases Negan into a house, and Rick of course runs out of bullets, and he has to fight him one-on-one. He throws the only source of weapon, and Negan falls, but he is holding onto the platform. Rick grabs his axe and stupidly swings to Negan's hands, which of course he's gonna let go and fall. I would have just waited down there with the axe. He wasn't gonna pull himself up. Rick asks if he's dead yet from the fall. Negan, who responds with the regular Negan line,
I'm a goddamn cat.
then asks what Rick's problem is, which I gotta say, that's a pretty good question. He over and over again asks Rick if he can save them. Yeah, it's under his rule, but when you're in a place where anybody who dies, old or young, turns into a flesh-eating zombie, you don't have many options. After no responses from Rick, Negan offers him a deal. As the deal doesn't sound absolutely great, it gives his friends a free way out, and to where only he is really the one working for Negan. Tisk tisk, Rick. This isn't sounding like a bad idea. Either way, Negan and Rick escape. But not really Negan's escape. He gets picked up by Jada's group, who unfortunately got ambushed by Simon, though not by Negan. Simon, being Negan's right-hand man, which, may I add, Negan is a leader of practically a pack of animals, even to the point where his right-hand man is willing to fight for leadership. He obviously loses, and I swear, this is a great screenshot to make of Negan. It is absolutely hilarious. Or shit, let's even get to where it seems all has lost. His endgame plan failed because of one guy, fucking Eugene, and it seems to be at the end of his ropes, when he's behind a tree and Rick is shooting at him. Stop wasting bullets, you jackass! He even tries to put up a fight, and even gives Rick about 10 more seconds to give his spiel. Granted, I know that he would have killed him no matter what he said, but he still at least tried to give him a chance. Rick's crew end up throwing him in jail, and yes, to this point, he may be seen as a terrible guy who did a few terrible things by the book, and a few not so much. But man, imagine being in a wasteland where every other thing you could do couldn't get you thrown in jail, but Negan gets thrown in jail. Maggie even sees how he's doing. She was gonna kill him, oh how morally good of her as well, but instead saw him suffer and decide to let him be. You'll see in like 3 seasons why she mistakes that. After being locked up for a period of time, Gabriel has come to Jesus, haha, and decided to unlock his cell so Negan can escape through the night. Negan goes, has his time on the town, goes through some stuff, and I'd like to bring it to where he is joining the Whisperer, more so on the fact he's proving himself. I swear when I was watching the montage for the first time, I could have sworn I was imagining the cheery music, but nope, it's there. It kinda shows his willingness, after being locked up, to be somewhere where the way people get by might not be exactly the right way, but it is a way nonetheless. Shit, I mean, when Alpha, the leader of the Whisperers, suggests there might be a spy, Negan tells her that it's probably someone on the inside, giving her advice that he had went through himself. Also, mind you, Negan is the one to also kill Alpha. That's an incredibly important note, because without Negan, the rest of Rick's squad would have gotten clapped because of how many zombies the Whisperers had. Like I had stated earlier, this is the season of the flashbacks with his wife. This gives a really good background on why he is the way he was. Just imagine for a second, he had a wife to fight for like someone else did in the series. If his wife didn't die during the apocalypse, how different would Negan be? At this point, I'd like to fast forward to around season 11. At this point, Negan is with the crew, and he's not trusted as per usual, but this is the most important part to look at. He is actually helping out the crew. He is even married and has a kid on the way. See? Not a bad guy. He even comes face to face with Herschel, the child of Maggie and Glenn, the guy who he did the bad to.
Back to it.
So obviously it's a hard face-to-face meeting. Herschel even points a gun at him but decides not to shoot him. All in all, it seems that from where we saw Negan, he has definitely evolved nonetheless, and who knows, maybe Negan isn't really a villain after all. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button. If you agree and or disagree with the things I said, please just leave it in the comments down below and I can definitely assess. If you like this kind of video, please let me know and I'll make more. If you didn't, please also let me know and I won't make more. Alright, we'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Peace.